What's going on, guys? John here, the Wolf of Ecom, and I want to answer one of the biggest questions I get when someone is starting out in e-commerce or has already been started, been going, but they just haven't really been getting results, right? So they've been losing a lot of money, they're very uncertain, and they're not really sure what their next steps should be. And this was me at one point, which is why I feel like it's super powerful that I can share from my experience what if I had to rewind the clock 3 years, what exactly I would want to tell myself and make sure I did, okay? And one of the first things I get asked too is how much money you need. And realistically, to be fair to yourself, this really depends on you as an individual, how risk averse you are. Some people have done this with credit cards. I've leveraged credit cards at one point. I don't recommend it for everyone. Some people will fold and collapse from the pressure, especially if money's not coming in and they're not getting something to work. But what I believe, I want to just give you some sound advice, and if I could go back and redo everything, exactly how I would approach this, okay? So the first thing I would say is you want about $1,000 in cash or more, okay? If you're more risk averse, have some credit lines available, but ideally have some form of income coming in, because it's very realistic and it's very possible that you're gonna be losing money for the first month or two, okay? Until you figure this thing out, because this is not an easy business. A small percentage of people will have the stars align, they'll get pretty lucky up front, and they'll just get it, right? So like, you take a sport, okay? Someone that's a natural athlete is just going to pick it up quicker. Doesn't mean that the person that's not as athletic can't succeed in the sport, right? It just means it's going to require more work and time and more failing forward, okay? So I recommend at least $1,000 of liquid cash, and then a credit line is a good buffer to have, but most importantly, another source of income so you can keep fueling the fire. Okay, the next thing is I recommend that you start with a small budget testing process like we show in our 4-day startup program. Okay, you can check that out in the link. It's super inexpensive, great way to get a crash course in dropshipping so you can really set yourself up for success in the long run, okay? And what we teach in that process is our low budget testing strategy, which you've seen probably in some of our other YouTube videos, and you're going to be spending as little as $60 to $120 a day if you're testing 1 to 2 products at first. And you won't really see that increase until you validate the product you're testing, okay? Which is really, really good, because there's a very good chance that if you're picking good products or okay products that will get some sales, you're most likely going to offset your losses. Like, let's say you're selling something that you sell for $30 or $40 or $50. If you get 2 sales in a day, you've covered maybe a majority of your ad spend at least, and you just lost a little money doing the product cost, paying, actually making those purchases and shipping them out to your customers. So it's just a very, sound way to get into this business, because it is not easy, it is very hard, and I can promise you, you will lose money, if not up front, then definitely later down the road when you try to scale for the first time, or when you're overly confident, you think you got it all figured out, and then you launch like 3 new stores all at once because you think you're a boss, and then you realize very quickly that that was a big mistake, because I've done that, okay? So I just wanted to help you get set up on the right path with this. So I always recommend also that you test 2 products at a time, okay? At least with our small budget strategy. And the reason why, let's say that you're running 3 or 4 products at a time, okay? Most methods for testing are going to require at least $50 to $100 per product. So let's say you're running 4 products and you're testing, and you're really bad at picking products, because that's very reasonable because you're new at this, right? You're not, unless you're very natural and you have the stars aligned, let's just assume you're not super strong at picking products, which most people will not be. That's very fair. Okay, and you're running 4 products, you're using our method, you're spending $60 a day, that's $240 a day. If you don't get a sale for 4 days, you are down almost $1,000, right? Whereas if you're pacing yourself 2 products at once and you're intelligently reading the data and making the right decisions along the way, like we show in that 4-day startup program, well, what's gonna happen is you're gonna be cutting some of your losses by having sales come in, right? So you're offsetting your losses, okay? And this is one of the most important things. Obviously, this comes down with product selection, which we show you there as well. We walk you through how to pick the right kinds of products that will at least get some sales whether or not the scale is always going to be up to the algorithm and the product itself, and how there's a little bit of luck involved, right? But this is just like the biggest thing I could go back and tell myself. This is exactly what I would say: is make sure you have some liquid cash. I had about $10,000 to start that I had saved up, put to the side, and definitely a credit line if you can, just as a backup, but more importantly, another source of income. I actually have a brick and mortar gym. I still own it and run it to this day, and that was what fed the budget for my testing, as I did take those losses up front, because I absolutely did. Not everything I did succeeded, and even to this day, I test a lot of products that just don't work. That's just how it works. That's marketing, right? That's business. That's life. Not everything is going to work 100% of the time. And then the next thing is about 2 products at a time is perfect, unless you have a massive budget. Like, I'll test 3 to 4 products at a time, but I also like to do that when I have a winner running already. So I'm taking maybe half my profits and I'm putting them back into hunting and searching for the next product. So you diversify and you spread it out, your revenue, your sales, your profits across multiple products, as opposed to having one product you just push to the moon. So all these things can be super powerful, super valuable if you put them to use, okay? So if you've been seeing big losses, like, that may be the product selection. Most likely it is. Most of the time it is the product. It's not the Facebook ad strategy. It's not, it could be the creative as well. But, we talk about diagnosing the problem in our 4-day program, which I cannot stress enough. You definitely want to check out. Click the link below. It's at a big discount. But really, like, that is how you win this game, is by not going super deep with this, because I've done that. It's not fun. It weighs on you mentally, and it can really slow you down from ever seeing success. I've seen a lot of people start this business, but I've seen almost just as many quit. This is not an easy business, and it's not for everyone, and that's okay. So take that to heart, take that to mind, test maybe 1 or 2 products at once, have about $1,000 in liquid cash, maybe a credit line, but definitely another source of income until you get your feet with this business and you start seeing some significant profits, where you can run on it more of a cash basis, or at least leverage some credit, but then pay it off right away, which is what I choose to do, okay? American Express is awesome. I recommend you get one when the opportunity comes, okay? So that's it. Just a quick little message I want to share with you. I can promise you this will make a massive difference. I got some other cool resources you need to check out. If you've been in dropshipping, or if you're looking to get started, you're just here to learn, totally cool. Go ahead and click the links you see below this video. Lots of other great videos are going to show you, just from my experience, what has and hasn't worked, all right? Hope you have a great day, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.